is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew. We got Andrew's brother Brad joining us once again for a top 10 ranking list. We love these.
Yeah.
Last time out, we did a top 10 80s action list, and there were only a few subgenres that were allowed at that time. We left out fantasy, we left out adventure, we left out sci-fi at the time, too.
Yeah.
Because, well, we just didn't want Star Wars and Terminator and all the usual suspects to just take over the list because, you know, that's going to happen, Alien, stuff like that. This time out, though, we're going to give those movies some love, at least some of them. We're doing top 10 80s sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Brad and Andrew's, that's their cup of tea. I'm not as much a sci-fi guy as they are. I'm more of a horror guy, which, I mean, they all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
We do have some parameters set for this. Not as bad as I feel like we did on the last one. We're leaving the fantasy adventure out of this again, which means your Indiana Jones movies, your Star Wars movies, stuff like Legend, Dark Crystal,
Conan.
They're going to Highlander, Back to the Future. There's going to be some things in there, and there's going to be things that you guys might be like, "What the hell?" But
we'll do a video for this.
We'll do those two. We're just trying to narrow the list down a little bit and give some of these movies some love. That being said, also I also separated some of the supernatural films from this list too. So horror's okay, but it's tricky. It's tricky. I put some horror on my list, but supernatural I kind of left off too because you've got some things like Ghostbusters and Poltergeist, stuff like that. I think that
blur the line
a little bit, but I wanted to leave off. So you guys will kind of see. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. I don't know. You let us know in the comments. But anyway, we got top 10s later. We got to have 3 honorable mentions in there as well. We tried to do some honorable mentions. All right, so starting number 10, Brad, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get a lot of love for this, but I'm going with Dune.
Dune.
Oh, no, I get it.
I know a lot of people, it's kind of love-hate relationship. Story's good as well. Sure, the books are better. That's the way it always is. If you like the books and didn't like the movie, that's fine. But I'm an atmosphere guy. Set dressings, Dune was great for that sort of stuff. So as far as just like a straight sci-fi movie, Dune's at the bottom of my list.
For number 10, I picked Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
Now, this is another one, too, that I struggle because I feel like it's a little more horror than it is. Is it more supernatural, or do you think it's more sci-fi horror? Like
maybe supernatural, but I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Because they're being powered by something.
They are.
I believe it's a comet.
It's like, it's more alienish, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was at. I know it's supernatural. Like I said, you blur that line. It's really hard. Like, when I look at supernatural things, I look at, like, Ghostbusters, shit like that. This one here, when you've got like more of an alien entity or something, I feel like that's a little bit different. It's very, like I said, it's very hard to blur that line. It's blurring the line, but I went with Maximum Overdrive.
It's a good movie.
It is. A lot of death and destruction by
vehicular manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughter. who doesn't love things just coming alive and killing people?
Yeah.
So, and this list is going to reflect me and my horror love. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Be a little different from probably what me and Brad are going to give you.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Although I've got a little bit of a horror element in my number 10, and that is They Live, with John Carpenter. He's going to make the list a few times.
Yeah, same.
But They Live's just Roddy Piper's best movie. The claustrophobia, the paranoia. It's kind of like The Thing in a way. Who is and who isn't, and once his eyes are open. So yeah, love that movie. It's my number 10.
I'm realizing now as we do this, maybe I should just included supernatural films, and maybe it's been easier because they really blur the line.
Yeah.
But anyway, I tried to limit that anyway. But anyway, go ahead, Brad. Number 9.
Number 9 for me is The Abyss. I remember watching this. I was really young whenever I saw this, and I remember just having like a really profound effect on me. Really long movie, really big ending. Yeah, the Abyss is my number 9 pick.
The resuscitation scene, is one of the best acting. Some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, we probably need to cover that at some point.
Me too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I picked The Running Man, number 9. Love Schwarzenegger. Actually, the first time I watched this, it was. I think it's for this channel. We talked about it a while back. I think maybe it was one of the first things with these Schwarzenegger movies or whatever.
Maybe.
But I know I don't think I'd seen it at the time, and you and Chris were talking about it. So I went and finally watched it. And who doesn't love death game shows and Richard Dawson? You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new side of Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
So that's my number 9, Running Man.
He's such a good villain in that too.
He might be a really good villain in real life when he was alive. I don't know.
Yeah. My number 9 is one that kind of blurs the lines too. I put it in my action list. It's The Road Warrior, Mad Max 2.
Yeah.
Just an amazing action and sci-fi film.
Yeah.
So had to be on here.
Number 8.
Number 8, probably frustrate some people here. RoboCop.
Ooh.
It's a little lower on my list.
It is low.
Not that bad.
It's still in top 10 favorite sci-fi, and I'm a sci-fi guy, so
That's still pretty good for a 10, in 10 lists. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
RoboCop's great. I don't have to say a lot about it. Classic sci-fi movie.
I love the elements of satire
Yeah.
throughout the movie as well. Everything's just really done well in that movie.
Yeah. Your move, creep.
Very nice. Number 8, I picked Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
That's good. It didn't make my list, so I'm glad you included it.
Yeah, so which is crazy for Andrew because he's the one that turned me on to this movie.
Yes.
I've always been a big Halloween fan. If you couldn't tell by the poster on the back of the door there, people who followed me for years, or this channel for years, knows how big of a Halloween fan I am. And 3 was not it for a long time.
Yeah.
But it has really come around. It's in my top 5 of the entire franchise. Usually it falls in that, even with the new trilogy, especially with the new trilogy. But yeah, there's some new supernatural elements in there, which is what I kind of struggle with. But then you kind of realize that there's a sci-fi element to it. When you get the cyborgs or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and Brad was talking atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's another. You got score and atmosphere, and another big reason why I would pick John Carpenter movies, most John Carpenter movies, over just about anything else, is because even though he might come off a little weak in some stories, or especially in endings, the atmosphere and the music is always top notch in his movies.
Sound design
is amazing in his movies, and that's one of those things you can. I've said this to Andrew. I've said it on this channel. I've said it on my solo channel. I've said it everywhere. I can sit down and put just about any John Carpenter movie on and vibe. Just whether I want to relax, go to sleep, enjoy it, watch a movie. It doesn't matter what mood I'm in and what I can do. I can sit down and put just about any one of his movies in and just chill out for a couple hours. It's nice. And this is no different. And I know this is not a John Carpenter movie. It's a Tommy Lee Wallace movie, but he had a lot to do with it, and he did the score.
And on that very same subject, my number 8 is Escape from New York, talking about just putting on a movie and vibing. I used to fall asleep all the time until about the point where he gets into the city.
Dude, I barely make it. If I put it on to go to bed, I barely make it.
Yeah, that's about where I make it every time, unless I'm just setting up to watch it, to have a good time.
Right.
And man, love Snake Plissken, love that character.
I do too.
It's a shame it's this far down my list. But,
it is, but it's just not that kind of list.
Yeah. So,
Kurt Russell's the man.
Yeah, he is. So, that's my number 8.
All right, number 7, Brad.
Speaking of John Carpenter, The Thing is my number 7 pick. Again, like Brandon was talking about, fantastic atmosphere. That movie's great out in the Arctic. Everybody's dying.
Yeah, one of those bleak Carpenter stories.
Yeah.
But
the practical effects in The Thing are top of the line.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if any movie, maybe The Terminator beats it as far as practical effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In some instances not, with the robotic, with the close up on the eye and stuff.
Yeah, that's a little weaker as far as time. Time has hurt that particular scene.
Right.
Where The Thing is probably maybe not so much.
Not as much.
Yeah,
not as much. There's some grotesqueness there. But yeah, good. That's a good pick. I like that, and it's something to say about him in those movies too. That some of them are not very deep, and some of them do have a lot of good commentary to them. That you can't trust. With this, you can't trust who you're around. It's just an empty, alone feeling, and that's what's so scary about that movie.
Yes.
It's a scary movie, really, when you think about it. I also think the commentary is good on my next pick. It's a good segue, which I don't get many good segues. So, number 7 on my list, another Carpenter movie, They Live. Another good sci-fi / horror movie and political commentary as well. I'm all about my conspiracies.
Yeah.
You know me. But no, They Live, another one I can sit down and just vibe to, man. Music, dun-dun-dun-dun. And I mean, hell, I could be asleep before he even makes it to that little communal area where everybody's living.
My number 7 is RoboCop.
Nice.
I couldn't get on you too bad because it was just down a couple more on my list. But yeah, just quintessential 80s sci-fi action.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing movie.
So good. So good. Number 6.
I've got The Running Man for number 6.
Okay.
So we're picking a lot of the same movies. Just
Yeah,
in
it seems like
different
we are.
orders.
Yeah.
Anytime Arnold is getting chased by a guy in hockey pads with neon strapped to him and, buzzsaws, fights with giant buzzsaw blades, you can't go wrong.
No.
Great action from The
I'll
Running
just
Man.
blame zero.
And it doesn't take itself seriously.
No, it doesn't at all. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah,
It
just a
really
really fun movie.
is. Number 6 for me is RoboCop. One of my favorite movies of the 80s. I probably watched it way too young. Because I think the very first RoboCop movie I actually watched was 3.
Oh,
And
wow.
you
came back.
and being young and Lewis, seeing Lewis die, which is super egregious, but I think that was probably the terms of getting her back in that movie.
Probably.
As an adult, you're like, wow, this was shit. As a kid, I loved it though, man. You had the jetpack and that launcher attachment, and he's killing splatterpunks, man. I was all about it, but it just definitely wasn't. It's probably a good introductory for me. Because it wasn't as gory and all that, but ridiculous with the cyborg samurai.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I think I could probably still put it in and watch it and enjoy it okay, just because of the nostalgia. But it's definitely not as good as the first two, especially that first one.
Yeah.
This one here, when I first watched this, I was still pretty young, and seeing Alex Murphy get his hand shot off by a shotgun was
Give that man a hand.
Was traumatizing. And then just them laughing at it. And then, of course, the final bullet in the head. The effects were nasty. They were good, though.
Same. I believe that might have also been Rob Bottin who did The Thing.
Really?
Well, later Total Recall.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 6, RoboCop. Great movie.
My number 6 is one that I can't believe I'm putting it over RoboCop, but I am because I love this movie. It's The Hidden from 1987.
Dude, I didn't even think about
just
The Hidden.
an underrated
It
show.
is. It is.
And if you've not seen The Hidden, go out and see it. There's aliens, there's the buddy cop deal. It's just a phenomenal
I forgot all about
movie.
The Hidden. I don't even think I've seen that on the list when I was looking.
Yeah, that's the one I said I'm putting one on here. I don't think I've.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's good. Number 5. We're going number 5.
Number 5. I'll catch some flack from the people in this room. Predator.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah, love Predator. If it was based purely on action, it'd be a little higher on the list. But since it was sci-fi element, it's a little bit lower on the list, just because some of the other movies on my list are kind of genre defining.
Right.
You're not going to catch flack from me because it's also my number 5.
Oh, okay. But I do love the Predator.
Yeah, and really, you guys are more Predator guys than me, but I did put it a little bit higher just because it's just such a huge movie.
Yeah.
For Arnold, for the action space, the sci-fi space, not so much, like you said, but but it's just such, when you think of manly fucking action movies, or any kind, like that's manly. It's that we finally got a reason to put this on the list. I went ahead and I put it a little higher.
Yeah.
So since you guys do number 5, my number 5 was Escape from New York.
Okay.
Another Carpenter movie. He's gonna be all over this, dude. It's just a great movie, all around. I mean, you can't say enough good things about Escape from New York. Shot in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Local. 2 hours away from us, man.
Yeah, been to one or two of those locations.
Yeah. Union Station, been there a couple times.
Yeah, been across. Well, the bridge has been replaced, Chain of Rocks Bridge.
Yeah. Number 4, then. We're going number 4, Brad.
What you got?
Number 4, I'll go The Hidden. Yeah, it's a movie that gets overlooked a lot. I watched it recently. It was Andrew.
Yeah, me and you did Warehouse B.
Yeah, Andrew recommendation. I loved it. I think the atmosphere in that movie. I'm an atmosphere guy. That movie's got great atmosphere. At one point, they're in a mannequin factory, and they're fighting this woman who's been overtaken by this creature.
Running through the dark.
I love The Hidden, I think.
It's a great movie. I just forgot all about it. It would have been, I don't know if it would have been on the list, honorable mentions maybe. I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Very fantastic.
I think maybe I did a video for my channel, and I did it on this list, but I really, on that list too, is like it or RoboCop for my second favorite, That's crazy to think about, that this little movie nobody's heard about comparing to RoboCop. On that level. But, go watch The Hidden.
So number 4 for me, I picked Aliens. This might be a little bit low for the guys here, but I picked Aliens on this one. When it comes to Alien and Predator, they're up there. I love them movies, but I don't love them as much as some people do, like you guys do.
Yeah.
They're up there, but Aliens, just an all around great action movie. I mean, it's definitely one of the best as far as practical effects and setting and action. It is one of the best in the 80s for sure. And I put it on this list because I can recognize that. Would I pick something else to watch before it? Yes. There's several things I would pick.
That's why it's there.
You can't not recognize the impact of that movie and how good it is.
In defense of it being your number 4, the runtime of that movie is pretty long.
It is.
It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah. I'd have to really, really enjoy something for 2 hours.
Jimmy Cameron has a hard time self-editing.
Yeah, he does. And that's, and there's, I mean, look, I can watch a Terminator movie at 2 hours if it's, like T1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah.
True Lies. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's an hour. It's pretty close to 2 hours. I think.
Oh, True Lies is close to 2.5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't feel like it.
I watched it last year, I think, when we were.
But that's a little more
it.
my bread and butter. You've got atypical action with comedy, and there is a subplot in that movie where it kind of veers off a little bit. But even that's somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
Because you get Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, Alien's my number 4.
My number 4 is The Thing. John Carpenter once again. I wanted to put it higher, but I can't, with some of my favorites that are on this list.
Right.
The Thing, like we said earlier, just an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
Number 3, I've got Terminator. Genre-defining action movie. Anything that was made after it, cyborg-wise, somebody's stolen from the Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
You can see direct scenes that people have stolen from the Terminator.
Yes.
The score of this movie, the driving score of this movie, that synth wave, you could put this on and just go driving. If you're lifting weights in the gym, you could put this score on. Just a fantastic movie. Fantastic delivery as a bad guy from Arnold.
Yeah, he's born to play that part.
Yeah.
100%.
And the best chase scene of all time, in my opinion, out of any movie.
Oh, there after the Technor? Because there's a lot of different chase scenes. You got a different one?
Well, the first one where they end up hiding in the garage from him.
Oh, yeah, after Technor.
After Technor.
Yeah, that one at the end, though, is awesome, too.
Tankers, yeah.
That's good, too. Yeah, it's incredible. There's no doubt about that. Terminator is amazing. Number 3 for me is Predator. Predator.
Higher than us.
Yeah, higher than you, which is crazy. Just pretty much about anything I said about Aliens, you could say about this movie.
Yeah.
But with more machismo.
Yeah.
Just a little more,
Dylan.
Just son of a bitch.
Just up your steroid dose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's Aliens on steroids and sweat. And it's good. It's just good. And I could think of things that I would watch above it. Even some of the stuff lower on my list, I would probably watch it ahead of it because I've seen it enough. And it's just not, I'm not a sci-fi guy as much. But, God, it's good, man. It's good. Anyway, that's my number 3.
My number 3 is a little movie called Blade Runner. And I'm not entirely sure which cut of the movie is my favorite.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't know which cut it is. I had a VHS cut that I rented from the local library, believe it or not.
That's got to be the theatrical then, with the voiceover.
Yeah, voiceover, I think, whenever they're driving in a car. Yeah, that's probably my favorite cut of the movie. Yeah, great movie.
There's a set out there that I've got. It's got 5 different cuts of Blade Runner.
Good Lord.
And I've not set through like the international version yet, which is more...
Are they that different?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all different. Like the international version's got more blood and gore.
Okay.
And like the edition they have out now, the final, whatever it's called, the final cut that Ridley Scott, he's put a lot of subtext in there that he wants to put in there, like Deckard was a replicant. Sorry, spoilers, guys.
Right.
But like I love that version, but I don't like somebody telling me definitively he is or isn't.
You like that open-endedness.
Yeah, the mystique of it is what is interesting about that.
Right. Yeah,
but at the same time, some of the voiceover, there's some things in that one I'm not quite as cool with. So that's why I say it's kind of up in the air to me as to which one I like. I like having different versions that I can watch depending on my mood.
Yeah. I get that too. Yeah. Like it's, there's just things where you could, it's also be kind of nice to be able to pick and place your own stuff to make your own version.
Yeah.
And kind of with Halloween 6, kind of like that. Not that much, but you've got several different cuts of that, and one makes a little more sense than the other, and one's not as MTV like, and
Yeah.
But anyway.
But this movie, I don't know when we'll get a chance to talk about Blade Runner on this channel again. So, like, it's so genre defining, and you look at videos after this movie and everything.
Right.
Just the impact it had on movies and TV, music. So, yeah, love this movie. It's my number 3.
Cool.
Well, it won't be long till we talk about it again, because it's my number 2 pick. Atmosphere. Blade Runner is loaded with atmosphere. It's silly with it. Everything is dark and saturated with water. And
neon.
Yeah, neon. It did define a genre, birthed many, many movies and adaptations after it. Harrison Ford is great in this. The female love interest, who's a replicant, is also fantastic
Ray
in this.
Finkel.
Yeah.
Lois Einhorn.
I love this movie. For the atmosphere alone, it's my number 2 pick. If you haven't seen it, go out and really pay attention to all the intricate details that they put in this movie.
Yeah, I recently picked up the 4K copy of this, and it's like, holy cow. It's like opening your eyes to things you've never seen before.
Yeah. So, you can watch it 100 times and pick up something new every single time. Just in set dressings, atmosphere.
That's cool. Yeah. It's not on my list because I have not seen it in so damn long, but I don't remember most of it. It's really hard to get through the first time, and I need to go back and finally do it.
It's one of those, I watched it the first time, and I'm like, well, that was a pretty movie, but it was okay.
Right.
And then the second time I watched it, I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing now.
Right. It's also story of morality.
Yeah.
And dealing with androids and
humanity,
and it's still relevant to this.
Like iRobot?
The message of it is still relevant to this day.
Maybe more so.
Now that we're dealing with AI and things of that nature.
Sure, right.
So it's still as relevant and beautiful as it ever was. So go check it out.
Cool. My number 2 is The Thing. Another John Carpenter movie, obviously. This has grown on me so much over the last several years. Atmosphere. Atmosphere, fear.
Yeah.
The commentary, the acting, the conglomerate of people in this movie, the effects. God, it's good. Man, it's so good. You can't really say enough about The Thing. It's one of the best movies of all time.
Such a good ensemble
and
cast.
It's so crazy that, especially on the horror side, it doesn't get enough love. I don't think it didn't get good reviews coming out of the gate when it first released. It's something that was picked up later on down the road by fans, and super good just all around. But again, I lean more towards that horror side of things. So what's your number 2, Andy?
Number 2 is Aliens. Jimmy Cameron.
I call him Jay.
Yeah, Jay. Jay to his friends.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for one other movie on this list, it'd be my number 1.
Same.
It's fantastic.
I can understand that.
Yeah, just great action, horror, suspense. So it's a really good characters too. Man, even just the side characters like Burke, he's written so well. Love it.
I say same, like I don't mean the same. I just mean I get your same as far as your thought process, because my number 1 is probably your number 1.
Yeah.
So, before we get to number 1, though, let's go through our honorable mentions. We're supposed to pick like 3 of them if we got that. So, you want to talk about your honorable mentions real quick? You should name them off.
Sure. We've already talked about both of mine. Escape from New York and They Live. They just weren't quite as high up on the list for me, but I still love those movies.
Me, I lean more into the horror side of things. So, like I went with like Night of the Creeps. This is something that I watched for the first time in the last, year or 2. We've been doing this again. Yeah. And fell in love with that. Love Tom Atkins in this. Hell Comes to Frogtown's another one.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. We're getting ready to talk about that in Warehouse Meet.
Yeah, Roddy Piper. We're going to talk about that soon, so stick around and be on the lookout for that. And another one, I put on my honorable mentions, another Carpenter film, and this one here, I put Prince of Darkness. It is sci-fi-ish, but it's also supernatural-ish, so I was really on the fence on if I should put that on there.
I'm cool with
it. Because it's, it is, you got your heaven and hell thing too, and to me that's more supernatural than sci-fi, but anyway, I just didn't really know what to put else on there, because the other ones that I've listed here I hadn't seen in so long, which was like The Fly and Twilight Zone. So I hadn't seen those in so damn long that I don't know if I could really put them in my list. So yeah, that's my honorables.
I decided, like, because I originally had like Running Man and stuff, but like decided to go a little deeper, not quite Warehouse B deep, but like some movies that some people might not have seen that are really good, like Outland with Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Where he's a marshal on a space station. It's really good. Enemy Mine with Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. is a really good movie as far as two people with opposing sides trying to survive on this planet despite their differences. It's really good. And Starman by John Carpenter. Just a really good road movie. So
it's amazing how John Carpenter can take over our list no
Yeah.
matter what we're talking about.
Yeah. Carpenter and Cameron.
Carpenter. Yeah, we'll just wait till fantasy,
Yeah.
and we'll have another one in there. So I guess that brings us to our number ones. Everybody's good with their honorable mentions. Brings us to number one. Brad, what you pick for number one?
Game over, man. Game over. It's Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens has been my favorite movie of all time, actually, since I was a young kid. I could sit down and watch the director's cut of that. It's like almost 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
actually, if you haven't seen the director's cut, it is an investment. Sit down and watch it. It gives you a little more context between the relationship of Sigourney Weaver's character and Newt.
Yeah, there's a real powerful scene in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Aliens. The action of that movie is fantastic. Killer cast. Hilarious space marines mowing down aliens. And then you have this mother-like character who's taking care of this young girl that they find on this derelict space colony that has been overtaken by these aliens. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Aliens, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but the aliens aren't actually the bad guys in this movie. It's actually Burke and the mega corporation that is funding this whole project.
Gotcha.
Aliens were just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, man, they're just trying to do the thing.
But yeah, it's Aliens for me, and like I've said before about me loving atmospheric movies, this movie is just loaded down with it. The scanners that are beeping as they're walking,
Tension.
through, the tension that it builds, tension and release. Burke crawling through the ventilation shafts, trying to get to a certain part of this compound before the thing explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the whole thing is tension and release and atmosphere. And all those people that are complaining that there aren't strong female character leads, Sigourney Weaver is the strongest female character lead that I've ever seen in a movie.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Nominated for an Academy Award for this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And she doesn't get enough credit for it.
I do agree with that, for sure.
Fantastic role
all
for
the way
her.
back in 86.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
Right? 40 years ago?
40 years next year.
40 years next year. Good Lord.
See,
and that's my problem, man. I still think 80s was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I've watched the movie probably 100 times. And every time I hear "Get away from her, you bitch," I still get chills.
Yeah.
I still love it.
So isn't it weird? Like you hit 2000. That's the real Y2K bug. You hit 2000, and your time perception just like, well, it just ends. Like everybody's perception of what it is just gone.
Yeah.
Well, tell them our number one.
Mine and Andrew's number one is obviously the Terminator, and to no one's surprise. To no one's surprise, and everybody also to no one's surprise, I would just have to get a little dig in here. T2 is still a better film. No,
strongly disagree on this side of the table.
I know. But I'm,
it's a fun movie.
I am a T2 guy, but T1 is amazing. I will never take anything away from it. It's still my number one pick on this because I recognize that it is the footprint for everything that came after. There's so many copycats, so many redone things. I mean, hell, Terminator 2 is basically Terminator 1.
Basically.
In a lot of ways. So yeah, just amazing film all around. The atmosphere is incredible. The music is incredible. Arnold is incredible. He, like you said, he is made for this film. Mm-hmm. This is his film. How often can you say that about an actor? That this movie was made for them? When you look at like really, really successful big films, you can't really imagine certain people playing them. John McClane probably wouldn't have necessarily gone over if it wasn't Bruce Willis. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right. There's just certain things. This one here, it might be the most definitive.
And to think that he came in to read for the part of Kyle Reese.
I know.
They almost missed out on something huge.
I know. Yeah, Michael Biehn was really good for that character too. But that's just it. I mean, that just shows you what a star Schwarzenegger is. Yeah. It really does. Just something about the dude that can barely speak English. And just a physical specimen. But he's just good, man. He's funny. You don't even get much acting chops from him in this movie, but this is born to play it.
And a basically homeless James Cameron writing a script for this thing.
Yeah.
Like first time. first time director.
Yeah.
But we love Piranha 2 on this channel.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just what a great
It
job.
still
he did.
counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, great movie, man. Just one of the best of all time, and I don't think anybody would probably dispute that too much. Other than, I mean, Aliens is up there. I can see that too being a big argument for a lot of people, especially in this category. Yeah. With that said, I think, does anybody else have anything else to say?
No, I think every movie on this list, even the honorable mentions, need to be watched if you've not done it.
For sure. I want to thank Brad for joining us again for this. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have to get you on some more. Let us know in the comments what you think of our list, and give us your list if you want in the comments as well. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. Excuse me. Is there anything else we need to tell them about coming down the pike? Or
no, not really off the top of my head. Until next time,
we're out of here.